Hey guys, welcome to Chewie Talks about stuff. Today's stuff that we're talking about is how great the fandom is, how open, accepting, and vast it is with all different kinds of things that people like to do, and how each person does it a very different way. And it's a good idea to do it because, well, everybody's kind of at each other's throats right now for some reason, and I want to reinforce how nice and open the fandom is, and how many good experiences you can still have even if it looks like there's a lot of arguing and stuff going on. Now, a big, very big point about this is that we are, again, very open. You can like one thing or you can like another thing. You don't have to like every single thing. Liking one part of it, still, you're still accepted. It's not like every single thing you have to like to be considered a furry. You can just like the art and make yourself a little character and talk, do all the art stuff. But you don't have to go to meets. You don't have to make a fursuit. You don't have to go to public events. You don't even have to talk to other furries. You can be a furry and just have a persona that you privately use and draw. There is no pressure at all to push yourself into the fandom, and you can still call yourself a furry. And then there's the people who force themselves into it fully, and they get to do everything, and they'll go to every con and go to every meet and get tons of art. And they are on the same level of furry as the people who don't participate as much or don't want to or don't feel like it. And it's completely equal in every single way, and it's great. I know quite a few people who they'll go to meets and stuff, but they go there to talk and meet new people, but they don't like fursuits or they are new and nervous. But they're all treated the same. There's no real worry about all the crazy stuff and if we're treated better or worse. It's all very equal, and you don't have to really push yourself to say that you're a furry. There are people who treat it as a very small hobby. And there's people who treat it like a lifestyle. And each of these people is exactly the same amount and can still call themselves the same thing, and there's no stigma or anything that means you have to do this. There's no one forcing you to do it or like making you make what the choices that you want to about how far into the fandom you want to go. You can dip your foot in, or you can jump headfirst in. Another great part about the fandom is how open and accepting it is of new people. I have a very good experience with this because at the fur meets I go to, there's quite a few people who are coordinators and stuff. They find out that a person's new to the con, well, or new to the meet. They'll send them my way while I'm out and about suiting, or if I'm not suiting, because I love talking to people and getting to know them and being friendly with them. And it really helps people get accustomed because then they create a few friends. I'll introduce them to a few people, have them talk and whatnot, and they develop friendships. So the next time they go to the meet, there's people that they look forward to go to, and it's all because you put yourself forward to try to help people a little bit and get accustomed to it. And that's a really great thing about the fandom is we always love to help new people. And these new people slowly and slowly become regulars, and then we get more new people in and more, and it grows slowly and slowly. We've had a few people who just started, and now they're regulars and love to go every single time. And it's the best feeling in the world that you're influencing and helping these people join something that they really want to be a part of, but they didn't know how to start. And to me, that means a lot because they get to do something that I know when I was younger, I was scared to do. And I didn't have that helping paw. So being able to offer that paw and helping them out a lot is a very good feeling, and a lot of people enjoy doing it, which makes the fandom very, very friendly and helps a lot of people get involved in it. And then there's conventions. Conventions are probably the best place to start getting deeper into being a furry after like the meets and meeting new furries and stuff and talking. Going to a con helps a lot with meeting new people. My first con was First Squared when I was 17, almost 18. because I had to get the permission slips and all that. But I really wanted to go to a con, and this one I could go to without having to stay at the hotel because I live like 10 minutes from it. Within probably 3 hours of being there and suiting around, I found a group of friends who I hung out with for a lot of the con. I still talk to this day, and we regularly hang out at cons and have pizza parties and whatnot. And it is really great. And now every time I go to First Square, like, a lot of people know me. So it goes from being, oh, I met a few people the first year to 2 or 3 years in, being able to pretty much say hi to every person as you walk through the hotel. And it's a very great social aspect of how open and great this fandom is. I've never felt this kind of friendships being made, even from like school friends or lifelong friends. It doesn't click as fast as it does in this fandom, and it really makes socially anxious people feel a lot more comfortable because they're able to make friends even through the slight awkwardness, because a lot of furries do not see that. I know a few people, they can't comprehend awkwardness. They don't notice it, but then they also don't notice sarcasm. So you got to be careful with that too. But conventions are a very good place to start, but it's always recommended start small. Don't start with like the biggest con, because you're going to be kind of upset, because those big cons, kind of hard to meet a lot of people, because usually that con is people trying to meet other people that they already know. So it's a little bit trickier to do than at smaller cons. So I always say pick a small one near you and then get bigger. And it usually works. I've seen people, my girlfriend, in fact, jumped in at MFF, and it worked out pretty well for her. Another great thing about the fandom, and this is probably my final little tidbit that I find like my most favorite, was when you first join the fandom, usually I didn't, like, for me, example, I didn't feel like I had much talent at anything, so I look at all these artists and go, wow, I'd love to be able to do that. But then you start just kind of doodling and doing it in your free time, and all of a sudden you realize you can kind of do things that you didn't know you had talent in. Like, after going to a few furmeets and looking at fursuits and stuff and being amazed by them, I built a fursuit very quickly, and then a year later I made a version 2 that looked even like 3 times better. And it really goes to show how just being immersed in all the stuff that this fandom creates and all the content it produces, you can kind of see that of stuff you want to be good at and stuff you can start trying and doing, and really put your potential up there and see what you can do. And you start making really neat things if you just put in the effort and try. And you kind of show off things you didn't know you had, just because you've been exposed to it long enough where you kind of get a feel for something you want to do. And I'd have to say that's probably my favorite thing out of anything. I never thought this would happen when I got into the fandom, was that I'd be able to make amazing things like this. And it felt so satisfying the day that Partial was made. And I kept going because everyone encouraged me. Furries don't really negatively criticize a lot of artists. If they're making progress, they're usually, everyone's very supportive and very good critique. They'll critique you quite well on how to get better and how to work better, and they'll give you advice in ways where outside the fandom you don't see it as much. It's either you're good or you're not good. There's no in-between middle section for aspiring. It's kind of just there and there. Well, in the fandom, it's a lot of people helping each other get better. I've seen a lot of good artists where they'll do tutorial streams where they'll show the whole process of them doing art and explain it all step by step so people can kind of understand how to do skeletal structures and whatnot. And then for fursuit makers, there's a lot of tutorials about how they start their suits and what styles there are and how to do certain things and make certain style stuff, like how to do the toe beams in a fursuit paw, how to do hand paws, how to start the heads, what different types of heads there are, and how you can use each of them, all the mechanics behind them. And it's very, very helpful. And it's stuff you didn't really think would be available to you, but it's all there if you need to find help. And it's a very, very great thing that I love about this fandom. And it's so good that people are helping each other this well. And it warms my heart every time I see people helping each other become better. Because that's really all it's about, is helping each other. And that's how we become better people. And it's a great thing, and I'm happy that we do it all the time. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Keep an eye out for more of my content. I'm going to try to get stuff out on a bi-weekly basis and start kind of getting a mojo going. And I'm going to probably switch between doing vlogs and skits as I kind of figure out what I like and how I'm going to do it all. But I'm going to try to keep stuff very active and posting. Follow my Twitter, which will be in a link below, as I kind of throw out ideas there, post a lot of pictures, kind of how I keep up to date while still being furry and cute. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!